Unlike many of the people I talk about, I know who Clara Dao is. I have seen the videos she made at the beginning of her career, and I have also seen multiple videos from other YouTubers documenting her downfall. And listen, I agree with them. They all have their reasons to dislike Clara and her new message, but I wouldn't consider her the villain of the story. There's so much more than Clara wanting clout or money. This goes way deeper than that. And this is something we can all relate to. So much that I am willing to play devil's advocate for her. So in the meantime, how about you subscribe to the channel, get comfortable, and yeah, let's begin. Clara Dao was born in Hanoi, Vietnam on August 29, 1998.
I was in one of the best, it's like the second best high school in Vietnam. It's very competitive and I am so grateful for being in that environment. I participated in a lot of volunteer experiences. I became the president of a volunteer group, and through a whole event, like a citywide event, I fought a lot with my dad so he could allow me to go, because in his eyes I'm like a girl, so technically he just expected me to stay home and get married someday and have children, and that's like his plan for me. But I'm like, no.
She lived there up until her 17th birthday, when she moved to Canada. Not on her birthday, but when she was 17.
I was an international student. I went to grade 12 and university in Canada, and then even after graduation I stayed in Canada. I worked in corporate for a while, then I quit and do YouTube full-time.
She found fame in 2019 posting on TikTok about her body, specifically about her anxiety as someone very skinny and flat-chested.
I believe that 2019 is a year, it's our year. It's a year that we just don't give a fuck about what other people think and just go for our dreams.
She gained millions of subscribers by exposing her insecurities and trying to gather the courage to love herself as she is. Her words were extremely powerful, and I don't think she intended for that to happen. Around that time, body positivity was all the rage, but only if you were big, because for some reason the movement that's not really a movement but a state of mind was hijacked by weirdos who demanded skinny girls to stay out of it because that was not a space for them.
Friends, this is just a friendly reminder that when a fat person tells you, hey, that's fat phobic, your first response should not be, no, it's not. Just like when black people tell us what racism is, we shouldn't be saying, oh no, it's not. Just like when gay people are telling us what homophobia is, we shouldn't be saying, oh no, it's not. When a fat person tells you something that is fat phobic, you're supposed to stop and be like, oh, didn't know that. Thank you so much for telling me. Appreciate it.
So Clara, with her insecurities and all, brought thin people a voice and a space where they could feel safe and heard. When she understood how powerful her videos were, she started pumping more content aimed at everyone who felt related, boosting their self-esteem by making skits and talking about her past.
So my whole life, from the day I know how to speak till this day, when I'm a grown-ass 21-year-old woman, people around me, my friends, my family, my relatives, strangers, acquaintances, the first thing they say when they look at me is, how come are you so skinny? Are you on Are you sick? You need to gain weight. You need to gain 10 pounds. You need to gain 20 pounds. You need to gain 30 pounds. You need to gain 40 pounds. You need to gain 50 pounds. Like, what?
She was called unfeminine, boyish, and too skinny while growing up. Even in college, where people are already adults, she was bullied because of her size. What a ridiculous thing. And just like we are used to people buying weight loss pills or getting magic detox powders, Clara did the same, but on the other side of the coin. She would buy crazy supplements on Instagram to gain weight because her main goal was to look just like a Kardashian. So as you see, this is someone who understands how outsiders can have such an impact on one's self-esteem. Focusing on the positive side of her body while accepting the rest became her brand. You probably saw her videos scrolling through TikTok or even in shorts on YouTube. Clara was very popular because her words about the beauty industry and conventionally looking bodies were deep and truthful. Now, not everything was wonderful and empowering. Clara is very skinny, and some people thought that she was, unbeknownst to her, pushing EDs. Girls who wanted to look as thin as her were doing wacky things to get to her size. And this criticism was because in every single of her videos, she will body check herself, mentioning how thin she is. To some, that was triggering or a way to promote an ED. Again, most likely she didn't know she was pushing that idea to people, but yeah. There were people side-eyeing her because of that, but this was a small minority. Most of her followers fought back those accusations, claiming she is skinny because of genetics, and by any means she was promoting something as harmful as an ED. Clara continued making content, and because she got a boyfriend around 2024, they opened a couples channel.
Everything's coming up, Millhouse!
But oh boy, things changed mighty fast. In 2025, Clara surprised her fans by getting plastic surgery. She had a boob job.
I have come to the decision of considering surgery. My parents told me that the surgery lasted for about 2 hours. There was some slough developing in the edge of my wound on my left side. My wound wouldn't close on my left side.
But everything fixed itself and she's fine. Hypocrisy was a word that kept repeating on every single post. And she didn't stop at her boobs. She did her face as well. People felt betrayed, as if her content meant nothing to her and she was just cashing the money to get the surgeries. But she defended herself, claiming that people change their minds and that she had the freedom to change her appearance.
I feel like I've been doing the same thing for the longest time and I want to get to the next thing. I don't want to tie my identity to just being the flat-chested girl on social media, even though I have no problem with it, okay? I absolutely love my flat chest. But I also just want to try having boobs for fun, to see what it's like to have boobs, to see what it's like, what it looks like with clothes, you know? I don't think that body positivity and changing yourself is like the opposite of each other. We can coexist, okay? Life can be nuanced, you know? What you believe in can be nuanced. It doesn't have to be black and white, but at the same time, it doesn't mean the people that have work done, that have treatments, hate themselves. It doesn't mean that they hate themselves, like at all. It's just a different way to show love for yourself, okay?
She also made a very interesting video about her eating habits that left people changing their minds about her not pushing EDs to people.
I don't eat when I'm not hungry, and I only eat when I'm like really hungry. I often don't remember to eat unless I really feel it in my stomach. I'm like, oh my god, I'm hungry. And then I realized that, oh, it's like 7 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything all day.
She ended up losing around 500,000 subscribers on TikTok and YouTube. There are people still supporting her, claiming my body, my choice, but the rest are still puzzled by the heavy contradictions and quick change of mind she had. And it is completely understandable, especially for young and impressionable people. They followed her because they related to her story. They were trying to better themselves emotionally, and once they were close to loving themselves, bam!
Boobs.
I don't blame people who think Clara did all of her content for money or because she knew she was giving people what they wanted to hear, only to give in to that same beauty standard she criticized. But it's clear that Clara knew what she wanted, and now she feels more confident with her own body. At least that's what she says.
Honestly, don't care about the stigma, don't care about what other people may think about your own decision. If you want to do it for yourself, if you are aware of all the risk and aware of all the rewards, aware of the whole process, your heart still tell you that you want to do it, then I don't think there should be any shame whatsoever when a woman decide or when a man decide to undergo cosmetic or plastic surgery to change themselves. I think it's a totally valid, like, you know, it's all good.
While her critics are very angry at her message she's giving her audience, the lies she told, and how she gave up on accepting herself just to fit in. And just now I learned she opened an OF account.
I just launched an OnlyFans and today I'm gonna react to what people on the internet has to say about it.
So yeah, it's as if she moved to LA and completely lost her personality and essence, but without moving to LA. Quite a case to study if you are a professional. I am not. But I do have another point of view. Clara said something interesting.
My family is so toxic, guys, but also they're very loving. They're very supportive, okay? But they have their own, toxicity as with any family. And I have learned over time to kind of tune out the toxicity or like not associate myself with it. I swear whenever like we would get together and we would talk and they would say something that's toxic or like either body shaming or like putting pressure on me to do things that I don't want to do, I would immediately leave the conversation. I would immediately change the topic or just like, I'm out of here, I don't want to listen to this, I'm out, bye.
And with this, I understood Clara. If you think Western beauty standards are toxic, wait to hear Asians. White skin, extra thin but still curvy somehow, tiny facial features, even girls who are clearly not fat are being fat shamed over there. There are a lot of people who have traveled to Asia from the West that have been treated differently because of their skin color and weight.
Traveled across the world for a photo shoot. What was supposed to be the highlight of my trip ended in the ultimate betrayal. The guy I booked with and filmed the video shoot with decided to upload the video with a filter that made me appear to be obese, clearly to attempt to mock me. Here's the raw footage. Here's what he edited and uploaded without consent. Here's a side-by-side. This is so hurtful, distasteful, and disgusting.
Kids are encouraged to have plastic surgery from a very young age, making us believe their entire childhood was filled with comments about their imperfect bodies and how to correct them, mainly from their own families. They buy creepy bleach creams to make their skin lighter. Monolith, the most common eye shape in Asia, is frowned upon somehow, so eye surgery is deeply encouraged. And this is all pushed by the media, a beauty goal that even the most beautiful Asians cannot achieve, hence why filters are extremely popular over there. Imagine growing up with a mom who's constantly saying how ugly you are, but you can be fixed with surgery. Even if it's normalized, that is extremely harmful for a child's self-esteem. And here we have Clara, claiming her family wanted her to have the surgery from an early age and then moved to Canada where her body wasn't good enough as well. So imagine feeling rejected by two completely different cultures. I think she really tried to convince herself that her body was perfect the way it was, and in the process, she helped a lot of people feeling bad about themselves. Unfortunately for Clara, all those words didn't ring true at the end, succumbing to whatever external factors told her to do and to be. I mean, look at us right now. We went back to the 90s with the ultra skinny people being fashionable again. Chasing people's approval is exhausting, but some people really want to belong. They need to fit in and kind of lose themselves in the crowd. And I think this is where Clara is, in my opinion. She's just a victim of an unachievable beauty standard that has ruined many lives, taking some in the process. My intention is not to remove accountability from her. She was an adult when she pushed all her self-help content. She was an adult when she decided to give in to surgery. She was an adult when she made that video pushing people to not eat, to be thin like her. And she is still an adult at creating an OF account. That is all on her. I just want to point out that a lot of 90s kids and teens suffered over here the heroin chic trend. Be thin or be ugly. I remember growing up with that awful standard. Nobody was good enough. A lot of our self-esteem was buried to the ground. People will buy pills and weird syrups to lose weight or purge themselves. So many EDs, even with a wonderful and loving family supporting you, the media will push this rhetoric to everyone 24/7. I get Clara. I understand that now she says she feels better, but it will never be good enough because she is now engulfed in the vortex of acceptable beauty standards that many people are currently trapped in. When is she going to stop? Botox here, collagen over here, remove ribs, buccal fat removal, lipo. Sure, my body, my choice. But when you become influential, someone is bound to copy what you do. She has fans, very young people, trying to be like her, and right now, even when she's open and honest, her message is very dangerous, but sadly quite trendy. I don't think she is the villain people made her to be. She's more of a product of many cultures in the world coming together to bully people who look different. Unfortunately, Clara used a wonderful opportunity to be just like the rest. She had an opportunity to shift concepts, change people's minds, and create an easygoing way to accept yourself, but she ruined it by wanting to follow the mold. What a shame. It's never too late, you know? We love a redemption arc, and hers can be very powerful still. Only time will tell. But tell me, what do you think about this? Do you empathize with Clara and her childhood, or do you still think she is doing this for money? Leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take good care of yourself, guys. Bye-bye.